The following is a conversation with Floyd Riebe.
Sorry about that. It took me a while to find the thing. Also, before I read you this from your transcript, I just thought you might find this thing curious that was in their cover thing. They call it the Assassination Records Review Board Staff Report to accompany July release of medical and autopsy records, which is when they released all this, the end of July. I just think that you should hear this one sentence. It says, the autopsy photographer, Mr. John Stringer, in painstaking and detailed testimony, explained the photographic procedures he followed at the autopsy, and he raised some questions about whether the supplemental brain photographs that he took are those that are now in the National Archives. His former assistant, Mr. Floyd Riebe, who had earlier told several researchers that the autopsy photographs had been altered based upon his examination of photographs that had been circulating in the public domain, re-evaluated his earlier opinion when shown the actual photographs at the National Archives.
Oh, did they twist that all the hell?
Okay, now, here it is in the final couple of pages of your thing. Question. This is probably from Jeremy Gunn. Previously in the deposition, you described what I understood to be a large wound in the occipital portion of the brain. Yet when we were looking at the photographs, you didn't notice that. Could you explain just once again what your best understanding is for the least apparent, what your best understanding is for the at least apparent discrepancy? And your answer is, well, it was chaos in the room that night, and I just misjudged where the wounds were. Question, just to make certain, has anyone asked you in any way to change your observations or to report anything different from what your recollections are? Answer, no. Has anyone from the review board asked you to change your testimony or alter it? No. Has anyone from any other government agency asked you to change your recollections? No. Or report? No. Question, as best you understand now, that you would believe it is fair to say that the photographs accurately portray what you observed on the night of November 22nd? Your answer was, yes, I would.
Yeah, that's the ones I was looking at up there.
Right, but they're talking about photographs that basically show the back of the head intact. Question, do you have any reason to doubt the accuracy of those photographs? Answer, no, I haven't.
That's the color ones that I saw when I was up there.
Right. Well, basically, the way they're making this sound is that you described, like you always have, a large wound in the occipital portion of the brain.
Yeah.
And then they show you photographs, which obviously from the transcript we can't tell what they look like.
They were a large gaping wound in the back of the head.
Well, they're making it sound like the photographs they showed you contradict what it is that you described verbally as to what the wound looked like. So they're making it sound like the pictures in the archives show the back of the head intact, and what you thought you saw, now you've changed your opinion because you've now seen these photographs in the archives.
I've never changed my opinion. I always figured those ones that y'all had were fakes.
Right.
Made up from some damn place.
Right. So what you're telling me is they brought out a bunch of new photographs that you had never seen before that show the wounds exactly the way you saw it back in 19... And it showed a large hole in the back of the head. Is that true?
Uh-huh.
Well, if you read this transcript of their interview with you, you never know that the photographs they showed you represent that, and you would never know that these new photographs even exist.
I'll be damned. Oh, man. I'll have to get my copy out and read it.
So, I mean, mean, they're just making it sound like whatever they showed you in the archives for photographs, and you can't tell what they're showing you, but what they showed you contradicts your description at the very beginning of when they interviewed you as to how you described it, which you said, large wound in the occipital portion of the brain. And I'm sure you even put your hand in the back of the head at the very beginning, too, and showed them that, right? And so what they're saying is that these photographs that you're looking at now have made you change your mind about what you saw of the wound with your own eyes. This is the way it reads in this thing here.
Well, they twisted it all around.
And for them to say that, you know, and again, I'll read you this thing from their cover, their 5-page cover thing to the media, which says, Mr. Floyd Riebe, who had earlier told several researchers that the autopsy photographs had been altered based upon his examination of photographs that have been circulating in the public domain, which are the ones I gave you, right?
Yeah.
Re-evaluated his earlier opinion when shown the actual photographs at the National Archives. Now, what does that sound like to you? Sounds like you changed your mind, doesn't it?
Sounds like with that re-evaluate.
Right, that you re-evaluated your earlier opinion, and now you think differently. That's the way it reads to me.
Oh, man. If that's the same wording on mine, then I just never caught it.
Well, you wouldn't have seen this because this is a special 5-page explanation of what the whole 2-year thing that they did. You know, but I would be curious if you still want to send me a copy of what they gave you.
I got it copied finally. It took me long enough.
Do you still have that envelope with the postage stamp on it that I sent you?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll try to make a comparison and get back to you and show, you know. But it sounds like they're just trying to make it look like you saw pictures that show the back of the head intact, and that after seeing them, you came to realization that, you know, you were mistaken.
Oh, man.
I mean, when they say, can you explain just once again what your best understanding is for the at least apparent, what kind of sentence is this anyway, for the at least apparent discrepancy? So what they're trying to say is right now they're trying to understand why you said one thing at the beginning of the interview and then you're seeing photographs and saying that this is what you saw, and supposedly these photographs are different. And then you say, well, it was chaos in the room that night, and
I don't ever remember saying that.
This is your answer, according to the transcript. Well, it was chaos in the room that night, and I just misjudged where the wounds were.
I don't remember even saying anything like that.
Well, this is what's in the testimony, the under oath testimony that they've given
I'll
them.
have to read mine, but I'll get that copy in the mail to you.
All right, because it's in somewhere else here, and I can't put my finger on it when they first show you the photographs where you start saying, oh, yeah, this is what I saw, and... So it didn't make sense, Floyd, because I've known you for a while, not very well, but we've been in touch for many years, and I've seen you on TV interviewed, and you know, the funny thing is, and I'll probably send you the Stringer thing anyway, they used an interview Lifton did with you on videotape in 1989 to try to get Stringer to change his mind about what he said, because he's always said that the back of the head was intact. And they used an interview of you describing it the way everybody else saw it to try to get Stringer to say, all right, you guys got me, you know, this is what really happened.
Oh, he's too worried.
He's a tough old bird. He wouldn't change his story.
He's too worried about his retirement.
Oh, I'm sure he is. But it's just funny. Yeah. It's just funny they used you to try to get him to change, and then they end up making it look like you changed your mind at the end of the day. You know, it just really stunned a lot of people. I know that because certainly.
That's garbage.
You know, but I'm glad to hear you say that that's not the way it went down, because I was so excited when you told me about finally seeing these photographs that no one else had seen. And I thought, my God, I'm going to see it in the transcript now, not only with you, but them showing them to everybody else.
Yeah.
And none of that's reflected in any of this material. But I'll tell you what else I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a copy of an interview they did with the family of a guy named Robert Knutson. Do you know who he is?
I don't recall off the top of my head. No.
Robert Knutson was a White House photographer, and he was involved with developing the film of the autopsy pictures at Anacostia a few days after the assassination. And he showed pictures to a friend of his who was another photographer for the White House, Joe O'Donnell.
I know that name.
Yeah, he showed Joe O'Donnell, and O'Donnell's still alive. He showed Joe O'Donnell photographs that showed the back of the head blown out, and then 2 weeks later, he showed O'Donnell the same exact angle, and the head had been painted back in.
Uh-huh.
So there were witnesses that know that this happened, you know. There is evidence out there of this going on now, but I mean, I just feel bad with it because they made you look like you all of a sudden, on the turn of a dime, just decided to change your mind and go with the flow, go with the government. Just say, oh yeah,
No,
you know.
no.
And I couldn't believe that because you and I have talked too much about this. Well, why don't you, if you can, why don't you send me what you've got, and I'll make it, and I'll
get it in the mail either tomorrow or Monday.
And I'll make you copies of all this stuff that I think will be pertinent for you. But if I talk to this guy Horn again, what do you want me to say to him?
I can't say that over the phone. If I ever see him, I know what I'm going to say to him.
So you're telling me on a stack of Bibles that he came down before they brought you to Washington,
Right.
and he came down to your home with a stenographer and these photographs and showed them to you.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, Floyd.
I don't either.
All right, well, I'll get this stuff out to you in the next couple of days, and then if it's all right with you, I'll call you back sometime next week to get your feelings on some of this other stuff. But
Okay.
I appreciate you taking the
I
time.
got a question for you.
Sure.
Do you know anybody out in Oregon?
You're getting calls from this guy Bill Law, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's connected with some group down in Dallas, JFK Lancer, who are putting on this symposium or whatever you want to call it down in Dallas for the anniversary. And they been trying to get a few guys like yourself and Jerry down to Texas.
Well, he leaves a number, but I called him twice. And he must have his phone rigged up or he won't accept certain phone calls.
Right. Well, Jerry, I guess, is not going.
No, I wasn't planning on going either. All I want to do is get a hold of him, tell him quit bugging me.
Yeah. Well, and then I'm sure at this point they've probably given up on you anyway.
Probably, I hope so.
But I can't tell you how good it feels to hear you, tell me what you did tonight, because I knew for sure that you couldn't have just changed your mind just like that. There's something wrong with that.
It's just a play on words or a flat-out fabrication.
Well, the thing is, if they showed you pictures
Right.
that we think is one thing, but you saw as another, and we can't tell from the transcript, then it does sound like you're, it's awful strange. It's awful strange. Well, I'll send you everything I have that I think will be of interest to you, and I'll look forward to getting your stuff, and hopefully we can talk again soon. And
Okay.
and I appreciate the time.
No problem.
Take care.